Hello, my name's Richard Booth. I work for the Creative Industries Knowledge Transfer Network. And sitting beside me here today, we've got Simon Hopkins. Simon is an associate for the CIKTN. And Simon, yeah, great you can join us today.
It's lovely to be here, thank you.
Brilliant. You've been working closely with the Technology Strategy Board lately on finalising the scope, the brief, for their forthcoming 2.5 million frictionless commerce competition, which will be opening at the end of September 2013. This is a competition looking to invest in collaborative R&D projects that lead to, and I quote, efficient digital transaction environments for the content industries. Yes, clearly the genesis of this competition is very much rooted in some notable trends currently impacting our sector, the creative sector. Kinds of things I'm talking about are continuing digitization, fragmentation of audiences, and disintermediation, or cutting out the middleman, as I think it's understood. All of which are beyond any doubt contributing to the emergence of a digital landscape of increased complexity. So, my first question to you, Simon, is I wondered if you could comment on this complexity issue.
Wow, there's a lot in there, isn't there? I think the first thing I want to say about the complexity issue is that there's nothing new there. And we're essentially talking about marketplaces, one way or another, in a broader sense, and I'll probably get into that in some more detail shortly. But marketplaces, which are centuries, if not millennia old, are inherently complex. They're inherently complex because they involve lots of things, lots of transactions, and crucially, lots of human beings behaving in radically different ways from each other and with different motivations very often. So marketplaces are complex. Marketplaces, certainly not new. There are, however, certain attributes of modern digital marketplaces which I think are new. It's, I think, something of a cliche, but there's that notion that if something's bigger, it's not just bigger, it's different. There's a point at which something becomes sufficiently bigger that it changes nature entirely, or at least substantially. And I think a couple of the ways that we're thinking about here in which things have changed very substantially are, we're talking about international marketplaces now. I mean, digital marketplaces are by and large, there are some exceptions, but are by and large international. And the very internationalism of the digital marketplace has led to all kinds of complexity, which I think we'll get onto. And as we'll get onto, I think, in far more detail shortly, when we're talking about digital services or digital assets, digital content and so on, they come with a whole other set of problems which only increase the complexity. But I want to throw in one of, I think, what will be several caveats in this conversation around this, which is to say that, yeah, we'll probably end up talking at some length about digital marketplaces, but it's important to understand that we're not simply talking about marketplaces in which digital-only assets are traded. Certainly the digital and creative industries have been massively impacted by the advent of digital. I mean, that's a commonplace. I think it's well understood. But now there are industries as diverse as, well, finance has been there for some time, but the wider entertainment industries, travel, hotels, and so on. I mean, the whole sectors which are facing massive disruption right now from digital, and they're sectors which I think are definitely part of the mix we're looking at